Hey, folks, this is your Un-Bougie foodie, Wesley Wright. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. This is, of course, Saturday at 10 a.m. Yeah, you're on with us. But I'm really excited too because, and in every instance, you know how excited I am when I have a guest in the booth. This week, I have a very, very special guest, someone that is very close to me. She's my sister. She came out from California. I think I talked about it a few weeks ago, that she's doing an event. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be discussing. But first off, Beverly, why don't you say hello to St. Paul and folks listening to WEQI and the Un-Bougie foodie?
Hey, St. Paul, what's up?
Really, is that all you got?
I could say so much more.
Yes, I know you could. To start off, I want to, tell people a little bit about yourself. It's hard for me to, okay, it's not hard for me to interview you, but the questions from like a friend or something like that, it's easier for me to ask those questions. But you're my sister, so I know you.
Right, but they don't know me, so you just have to talk to me like,
they don't know me.
Like they don't know you. Right.
I know. But the questions kind of come off kind of weird. But anyway, so Beverly, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, first of all, you're my wonder twin. We are 5.5 years apart, but we always get we used to get the married thing, which was really creepy.
Blah.
But twins is good now. I'm cool with that. I am an artist. I'm a painter. And I have been painting or doing art seriously maybe for the past 3-4 years. But I've been, doing art since I was a kid. I haven't gone to school formally, don't have a formal art education, but I just see art in everything, in people and things, even in food. And I paint on canvas. Traditionally, but I also paint on glass and ceramics and acrylic containers.
And why that is, she's not only on the show simply because she's my sister, but being that you are here for the Minnesota Food and Wine experience that's going to be at Target Field. That's tomorrow from 1 to 5. Plug for them. Not really, but yes. And then on Sunday, again from, I said 1 to 5, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Sunday, the same time. She actually has a booth. She's an exhibitor. So she has wonderful pieces of art that she's going to be displaying. So tell us a little bit about that. And again, you're here because, the artistry that you do it on wine glasses and other drinkware. And how do you feel that actually relates to, the Minnesota Food and Wine experience?
Well, I feel that art should be functional, or it can be functional. So other than just being nice looking and hanging on the wall and setting the mood for a room or an office, that there's certain pieces like a wine glass or a coffee mug that can also be an art piece. It can be artistic and it can complement a food, like a piece of art on the wall complements a room. So you have a really decorative or piece of ceramic that you drink out of every day. That's like taking a painting with you to work or wherever you enjoy your coffee. And it makes it more a part of our lives. Art, instead of just being that one thing, it can serve many purposes.
Exactly. And I really appreciate the fact that, one, you have that eye for doing stuff in, with your art, and along with, putting it on, having it apply, if you would, to things like, in this case, the food and wine. I mean, you have not been in this experience, but I have. So I know I gave you a little bit of insight on what that all entails, and that people are going to be walking around with glasses of wine. So already it was perfect that you already, it's not like you had to, oh, well, let me see if I can paint on glass or paint on a wine glass and what the different types. You already do that.
It's still a little intimidating, though, not being as familiar with my audience. Living downtown LA or living in California, kind of having a better idea of what people like or what people want to see. Minnesota is like another world, not actually being familiar with what people like or what they find interesting. So having you here as, like my consultant was very, very helpful.
The correspondent.
Exactly.
I am the Minnesota correspondent for Designs by BeJé.
Exactly.
So if anyone's interested, I do consult every now and then, and any type of artistry that you need to find out information on, you could contact the Un-Bougie foodie for that.
And we'll discuss the fee later.
Really? Who gets any fee? You don't get no fee.
Oh, not me. It was for you. I was plugging you.
Okay. Not a problem. I appreciate that. So, I feel a bit, I just mentioned that I had gotten the tickets, prior to her even finding out that she was going to be here. And so when you got the news, if you would, or information from the event organizer, I think I mentioned something to the effect of, man, I wish I knew, because then I wouldn't have had to pay for my tickets. But, it's funny how that worked out, because, right now, being that you're going to be going both days, my first thought was I'm going to go on that Saturday, and I'll talk about it on the following week. Now it's almost like I feel I have an inside scoop on all the different vendors that are going to be there. Because, yes, I'm going to share a little bit. Her being an exhibitor, she gave me a list, because I'm helping. The Un-Bougie foodie is very helpful. It's my sister. She gave me a list of all the other exhibitors that are going to be there as well. And I am truly excited, because I've never been, you have to wait to go to some of these experiences and to find out who is there. And then all of a sudden, here, now I have this full list of all these people, and all these different companies and wineries, and man.
Yeah, some of the places that are listed are places that I've heard you mention on previous broadcasts, like Pimento.
Exactly. And that definitely will be one of the places that we're going to be frequenting, probably both days. That's, if you've never been to Pimento, I'm telling you, you really don't know what you're missing out on. And man, I'm quite sure that the audience listeners are like, why is this dude always talking about oxtail? Because it's good.
Because it's good.
It's very good. And my sister hasn't tasted it yet. She's been here, how many days? 3 days? 4 days now? 3 days.
I got here on the 28th.
So she hasn't had the opportunity to taste it. But when she does, she will understand what I'm talking about. My nephew had already tasted it, and he knows. I'm hoping that he talked about it a little bit.
He raved about it. He loved the food that he had.
All right. Well, hey.
There's a company that I follow on Instagram called City Girl Coffee Company. Shout out to you ladies. And I think that they're very unique in that first of all, the coffee that they make is ground right here in Minnesota, in Duluth, but also who they get, the growers and the pickers that they get their beans from are from women. And I think that that's a very cool, empowering thing to do. And I was hoping, to make some arrangements with you to go and drive there and see them. But it just so happens that they're going to be one of the exhibitors, booth 315. I hope you guys don't feel like I'm stalking you. But yeah, that's another one that's less local that's going to be there.
That's good to know. I know you mentioned that before, and we talked about the whole trip up to Duluth. I said it's 2 hours, and you're like, okay, cool. And then what? After you got the list, you're like, they're gonna be there. I was like, what? Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
What? Now that you have actually seen the list, was there any place or any particular, I guess booth that you were interested in going by? Now, mind you, we had already gone there today. I'm helping her set up, her booth. So if you are interested or have gone to or have your ticket, I should say, for the Minnesota Food and Wine Experience at Target Field tomorrow or Sunday, please make sure that you visit. I can't talk. You visit booth number 309. She's going to be in the 360 Legends concourse area. I believe that's the Puckett. Yep, that's the Puckett portion of Target Field. And you'll see her as soon as you come in through the door. Almost, you'll see her. I'm excited for her. But is there anyone that you had in mind that you heard this morning that we were talking about?
You know what? I cannot remember her name, but
Psycho Susie's.
Psycho Susie's?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Psycho Susie said that she was going to have steak skewers and ceviche, and I'm going to be at her booth. Most definitely. There it is, right there.
Psycho Susie?
Yeah, she's going to be in booth 517, Psycho Susie's Motor Lounge.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we're going to go see her. There's a couple of them that have some really funky or cute names. I
want to get your viewpoint.
Wine,
basically
living, and whatnot. I want to go to that booth.
I want to get your viewpoint on what you're thinking of the whole experience. I mean, because this is, I have to say, it's a big deal for you. It really is. And I know you're my sister. You've been an artist for quite some time, but this is like a step. I'm very proud of you for this. One, that you made the arrangements and you put it all together. I mean, step by step. You had the conversations. You really are building your brand. And tell us a little bit. I should ask that question too, so that maybe that you could understand or help others understand too about your brand as an artist, because your company, if you want to say, or that you're doing your artistry under, is Heart to Hand Creations, designs by BeJé. How did you come up with that?
Well, Heart to Hand Creations.
That was a lot. Sorry.
That's okay. Heart to Hand Creations, or H2H, is simply that. It's from my heart and hands to yours. It started off as it didn't start off as a business. It started off as sometimes not having a gift for a wedding or something, and just feeling that I could create something personalized or special for the person or persons that we were going to be, gifting or whatnot. And it still kind of has remained my signature. I do a lot of wines for one. Even though I can make a set, I take commission work. I do a lot of kind of one pieces, just kind of like I would do a canvas. I'd only, make one. And it's not, I maybe don't have a particular individual in mind, but a kind of individual, one who I know would appreciate, what my designs are, whether it's some quirky saying or whether it's,
lumberjack,
a bird, or a lumberjack, or lumberjill.
Yep.
Which I learned quite a bit about in the past week or so. But I really am a strong believer that art should be functional. Like I mentioned earlier, it should be something that you can take with you. You can help others. You can have others experience it, not just sitting on a shelf or hanging on a wall. We know Michelangelo is, his sculptures and the Sistine Chapel and stuff are beautiful, but you can't take those with you. You can't carry it around. And the way that art makes people feel, the way that art makes me feel, it's motivated by music. And the reason why I feel it has a lot to do with food too, I know when I cook and when we're in the kitchen, what do? We have music on.
Yep.
And, that's, another form of art. When I get to create dishes, actual, painting on plates, or casserole dishes in this case, um, it's it adds something to the food, to the presentation. Drinking out of a beautiful glass or a mug when you're having your coffee in the morning, it's like they meld together.
And two, because you purchased it from someone an artist, and you're like, yeah, this is mine now. They've
Yeah.
invested in you.
Right. Very much so invested in me, but also invested in themselves. I really take a lot of pride in the things that I create for people, whether I know you or not. I just want it to last forever. I mean, glass can break, but you're not going to buy something from me and the design's going to wash off. I take a lot of pride in learning about my craft. I learn something about what my process is every time I create something, from the kind of paints that I use, from the way that it's baked, from the kind of protective coating that I put on it. I'm learning different things all the time, and it's because I want people to be proud that they have this, piece of work that was, designed by BeJé, from my heart and hands to theirs.
When it comes to the type of artistry that you do, how do you come up with those ideas? I know you just kind of talked about, the behind understanding of Hartan Creations and designs by BeJé, but like in this instance with this event, we knew that this was coming up, and you have specific art pieces, and I'm not taking credit, but I mentioned that keep in mind what your audience is. You're talking about people that are there for food and for wine. So, the different types of artistry that you put together, what was your thought behind that?
It was a little intimidating, and thankfully I did have you to consult on trying to figure out exactly what my audience, what my potential audience would want or would be interested in. Definitely something different than what I'm used to, and so did a little research myself as well to just see what some of the interests would be. People usually have a lot of pride in their state or sports teams or things like that where they're from. So yeah, I really appreciated the insights that you gave me, and I did accordingly. I created some pieces with the information that you gave me in mind, coupled with the research that I did myself. But that's really important to know who you're creating for, and even knowing that within that, you're still not gonna, please everyone. But there's got to be someone or some portion of the population that is going to appreciate or be drawn to what it is that I do or what I create.
Of course, of course. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna say one of the items that you created was a casserole dish, and it's a beautiful casserole dish. This casserole dish. Say that 5 times. But the casserole dish. I mean, anytime I see something like that, or any dish in general, my first thought is, what am I going to cook in this? And not because I don't know, it's just I have so many different ideas. Maybe that's probably the better way for me to say it. What's the first thing I'm going to cook in this, or what I'm going to serve in this? Because the casserole dish, it can be used in so many different ways, other than just being a casserole.
Right.
Do desserts and other things up in there too. So
I'm going to go back to the whole functional art thing. The casserole dish is very beautiful. It has a peacock design on the top, on the lid, and the tail extends to the side of the dish. And normally, something that's so ornate, you would want to take it and put it on the shelf. But I assure you that it's sturdy. It's made to be used Of course, you don't want to take a Brillo pad and scrub the outside of the design, but it definitely can be hand washed and it definitely can go in the oven. And you can make a macaroni and cheese, or you can make a tuna casserole, you can make a small lasagna or some type of ziti bake. There's so many different things that you can make that will complement, the purples and the greens and the bits of orange and white
And
blues to go with that. It will look great with any table and enhance any meal.
So when it comes to, well, you see, again, you're at a disadvantage, but I'm not, sort of, because I've been to the Food and Wine, but being all the things that I've told you about it, what are you most excited about having? Because yes, you're going to be an exhibitor. You're going to have to be behind the booth or behind in your booth area. But, Saturday is not the day that I'm going to be helping you. So I'm going to be there having some food, cheese and meats and so forth. What are you excited to have? Because I'm going to bring you something.
I'm excited to have everything. I would really like to have some meat and cheese. I'm a bit of a carnivore. But I'm not really excited about any one thing as far as food in particular. I'm really more so excited just about the atmosphere. I want to see everybody interacting with one another. I definitely want some wine. Yeah.
You're going to be right next to a vendor.
I know. So I plan to play nice with them.
Play nice. And
I
be like,
will.
hey, here's a glass just for you.
Exactly. And here's my glass. Can you fill this up too?
Exactly.
I'm interested in learning. There's going to be wine seminars. Like, this is not just like a vendor event where you come and just buy stuff. This is going to be learning and tasting. And so I wish that, that if I got a break from being an exhibitor, that I would get to attend. My brother's the Un-Bougie foodie. I am not. There's a lot that I don't know about
is what
food.
She's saying.
Whatever. There's a lot that I don't know about, pairing what wines with what, and I'm always asking him these things, and it would be nice to know for myself. I'm just, like I said, I'm ready for the interaction. I'm ready to see how Minnesota is going to interact with me. Because I think they're going to know that I don't belong here.
Really? Wow. Okay, I'm so going to put you on the spot right now, only because, this is a food show. So
okay.
I know that you have been, we're off the topic of Minnesota Food and Wine. Being that you're coming from California, there are so many different things that are happening in California, and I see that you have, along with probably one or two of your other friends, have become this downtown Los Angeles or South Central Los Angeles food person. Why are you trying to hone in? Trying to get the East Coast covered. The West Coast covered.
I can't
Cali
speak.
Covered.
I can't speak on Minnesota. I can only go by what the Un-Bougie foodie says every week. And sometimes it's over my head. I'm still stuck on the kashan that he talked about last week. I am a carnitas, pork, pig lover from snout to tail. I love it all. But in Cali, I'm just kind of I love meat. So I'm not a taco connoisseur, but I'm always seeking out the best or the better taco. There's so many cool places there to eat, though. It's kind of overwhelming almost to not visit the same places over and over again, but it's also good to try something new. We've got, I don't know what you'd call him now, a street vendor. You guys probably may have seen him on the Steve Harvey show. Place
is that a place with the big bar with a burrito or something like that? Or
it looks like they have burritos, they have quesadillas. It's called All Flavor No Grease. He's a big guy, and his flavors of it is big, and it's the food that he makes. It's amazing. He makes quesadillas and burritos with shrimp, carne asada, and chicken, like all together. And he has his own, just his way that he does everything. And it's like, it's artistry watching him create everything and put the guacamole with the, it's nice. And it's very good. And he would be blocking off streets, the street where he lived, and creating these deals. And he would just kind of let you know every day what time he was going to be there. And it could get a little pricey though. I know I ordered 3 things and it was $50.
What? Sorry, man. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but it was worth it. It's not something that I would go do every day. But then there's a couple of other places. Like there's this taco truck is called Los Carnales, and they are located in Cali on the corner of Figueroa and Vernon.
Okay. Really?
And, yeah, right over there in that Shell station, across from Burger King.
Wow.
It is so bomb.com. I don't even know what to say. And the horchata's good, and they have all the fresh ingredients out, the radishes and all the cilantro and onions, and it's just good.
See, I think over here on the east side, there needs to be some type of food truck conspiracy going on or something like that.
What?
Yeah, I mean, people just need to bum rush over here and be like, you know what? We're not going to go to Minneapolis this week. We're going to go over to St. Paul, and we're going to be on Payne or Arcade, and we're going to just have a food truck craziness. There are going to be 5 or 6 food trucks out there. There needs to be maybe barbecue. There needs to be some tacos, maybe like 3 tacos, 1 barbecue, 1 Cuban place. I don't know.
Do you guys have Mediterranean food trucks?
Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
There is a food truck in LA called Spiro Gyro.
Oh, gosh.
Spiro, hi, is one of the main people.
Make it sound like you're giving a shout out and everything like that. He's like, hey, I'm going to be on the radio, so I'm going to give you a shout out. Listen for me.
I hope he is listening. For different reasons that have nothing to do with food. But anyway.
This is a clean show, woman.
This is a clean comment right at this time.
Yeah.
This moment. But amazing. So good. I'm such a fan. Those are my new top 3. My top 3 is Belizean food.
That's number 1.
I know. Didn't I say it first? Belizean food, Mexican food, and Mediterranean food.
All right. Well,
Italian has been bumped out.
What? Oh, because of the Mediterranean?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Unbelievable. Where are you from? No.
Unless there's some Italian man that wants to win me back over to the Italian side.
Do you see what I got to put up with? This is... I just hope that people at the Minnesota Food and Wine, they pay attention to the artistry and everything, and don't bat your eyes and anything. Hi, can you buy me something or buy something for me?
I don't have to ask that.
Whatever. We're here to talk about food. We're not here to talk about anybody trying to capture your attention or you capture their attention. Clown. Anyway.
Don't hate.
Really?
Don't hate.
Oh my goodness. Anyway. We haven't had an opportunity really. I have not had an opportunity to really take her out to dinner. I mean, we have been to 2 places that I always talk about. Handsome Hog.
And the Dark Horse.
And Dark Horse, yes. But that was only because, it was late. She got here late in the evening, and we just wanted to quickly have something because she was hungry. And then Handsome Hog, I think, didn't we try to go to someplace else? We tried to go tried to have, but also we tried Chinese food. And then it was like, oh man, then we had to go to Handsome Hog.
What did we eat at Handsome Hog?
Really, the pork belly? The sandwich that you couldn't eat because it was too spicy?
Oh, and we had to trade.
Yes, exactly. Gave him my ribs.
Oh.
Yeah, those ribs are succulent.
They were so tender and so good. Didn't
Yeah,
even need any barbecue
exactly.
sauce. It was good, but that sandwich was a bit much for me.
Before we go, or before we, even end the show, I just want to make sure that I'm jumping around a little bit, but I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to give some of your social media information out. So, either Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I like saying that way, Snapchat. You want to go ahead and save some of that information so that they could follow you? And
I am on Facebook. It's under Designs by BeJé, and there is an accent on the final E. That's BeJé, where you can see some of my work. But really, my most used social media is my Instagram. And because I'm like almost posting, if not my own stuff every day, then just something that I find interesting artistically. And that is BeJé _ H2H, BeJE _ H, the number 2 and another H.
Okay. All right. Well, wow. Okay. That's good. I'm sorry. I was a little bit shocked by something. Sorry, that was a little funny. But I was trying to figure out. I was going to ask you another question, but I was thrown. Sorry. I apologize for that.
Someone stumped the Un-Bougie foodie?
Really? This is about a food show. This is a food show, and I'm trying to make sure that we cover all of our areas of food. Anyway, what did you like? I know we talked very briefly about it, and even while we were at the restaurant, your sandwich. I admit, yes, it was a little spicy, but it was a South Carolina barbecue sandwich or something that you had.
I don't know. I don't remember.
She wipes it away because she doesn't want to. It wasn't something that she really couldn't have ingested because it was a little bit spicy.
I bit the sandwich, and the first bite was so tasty, so full of flavor, and then when I began to chew, I began to taste the hotness, and then it was no longer enjoyable. But that's just me. I don't like hot at all. I like well seasoned. I like a good flavor, but I don't understand people who eat the things that burn the taste buds out. I feel like you can't taste the food anymore if it's too hot, but I'm really sensitive. So it probably wasn't that hot, but for me it was.
Yeah, it was her ladylikeness. And I'm sorry, I can't put that in my mouth. It's too hot. No, can't ingest that anymore. No. Shh, be quiet. Don't say anything.
Okay, because I was gonna say something.
I know you were. I know you were.
I'm glad you know.
Yeah, exactly. What about dark horse? Well, okay, well, I gotta go back to my ribs that I couldn't finish, but I did finish myself because even though they were cold when we took them home, I gourmandized on those. What did you think about the ribs?
They were really good. It was, like I said, tender. It was had flavor. It was juicy.
I wonder what that it was kind of like a glaze or something that they used on it, and it's not like me not to really already know ingredients and so forth, but this has been a very interesting week of rushing around and doing things. So no blame, no shame on that, but there was just what seemed to be some type of glaze that I don't know if it was just sugar or honey or something, because it was savory, but it was also sweet at the same time.
It had some sweetness to it.
So, man, I gotta find out what
but
that is.
But it wasn't sticky, so
no,
I was thinking that maybe it was just the meat. Maybe, there was pork ribs. So maybe it was just, I don't know. It has a tendency to be a little sweet sometimes.
But remember too, that when you're putting on a glaze on something, if you bake it well enough, or maybe if it could have just been a light glaze, because it wasn't heavy, so that it made kind of like a crust on the actual outer portion of the rib itself. It
Right.
was just a light glaze that you knew that, okay, there's something sweet on there, whether it be honey or some type of
Brown
sugar. Yeah,
right.
exactly. What about Dark Horse? So at Dark Horse, I had the shrimp taco.
Mm-hmm.
I had also the the
Something
pork
pork belly.
sliders. Nope, you're thinking still of Handsome Hog. Remember? Because I had the salad too, and we had
The wedge, right?
Yeah, the wedge. That was delicious, by the way. And there are not many places that I feel that I could go to and have a good wedge salad. Handsome Hog is one of them. I think there is another place, but they're more. I'd say they're more of a franchise. But Handsome Hog, I was very surprised. Nice big chunks of blue cheese, and then the cherry tomatoes, and it was a great size, along with the bacon. Everything, as we know, is great with bacon. But I want to switch over very quickly to Dark Horse. So again, I had the shrimp tacos. I also had the pork belly slider. What did you have? I know wasn't it a sandwich or?
Nope, I had pizza.
Oh, that's right. And I think I had one slice of that. How was that? I liked it because it was a thin crust.
Right.
And like you said, which I thought was kind of insightful, that being that it was a thin crust, it didn't have all the doughiness that was with it.
So you could really taste the sauce, and you can taste the meat. I had sausage and pepperoni, I think.
Yeah, you had kind of like a meat lover's.
Yes,
I think what you said.
Hence the carnivore. Yes, it was good. I was able to taste everything, and it wasn't too greasy or oily. It tasted great the next day. It was good.
It's gonna all the stuff that we're gonna have, at the Food and Wine, of course, is going to. What we have for lunch today is going to pale in comparison to what we're going to have tomorrow and on
the next
Sunday.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you have had the opportunity to come here and showcase your artistry. I'm wondering if anyone's interested in finding out more information in the future, maybe about events that are around the Twin Cities, well, specifically on the east side of St. Paul, please feel free to reach out to me at the Un-Bougie Foodie at gmail.com, where I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Visit my Facebook page, where I'll post information, as always, about places that I've gone to, and you could always leave me a message and ask questions as well. And I am a food poster. Posting food, on Instagram, that is. So, social media for me it's my avenue of being able to get that information out to you. So I want to encourage you, if you'd like, to follow me on Instagram at _Un-Bougie Foodie. And then, of course, Twitter. Every now and then I'll make some type of ranting or ravings, if you would, on Twitter. And that is at Un-Bougie Foodie. So, please feel free. I know we're, again, still having conversation about food here at the Un-Bougie Foodie, but I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to WEQY 104.7 FM, the voice of the East Side. We have so many other hosts that have shows. I encourage you to definitely support your local community radio station here on the East Side. And I think it's enjoyable when we have people in the community that have something to add, and I know I look forward to it. Anyway, when we are tomorrow, what I think I don't know how I'm going to help you tomorrow. I really don't. I mean, I'll be there early in the morning and everything, but
You don't have. I
I
want you to enjoy.
I
I
am.
want
I
you to
am.
enjoy the food and wine experience. I don't want you to worry about me. I know that's like telling you not to breathe, but I will be fine. You can pass by and see that I'm okay, and everything will be fine. And those of you who decide to follow him on all his various social media channels,
I'm gonna be
just
posting like crazy tomorrow.
maybe he'll find a Miss Un-Bougie foodie, and you guys can live happily ever after.
She says that through her nose. Really? Wow. Wow. Okay.
You don't worry about me, bro.
Mm.
You've gotten me this far. You're my rah-rah guy, and you're my wonder twin, and I love you, and you are very supportive. And
Oh, the love fest.
if you if it weren't for your encouraging me and making me feel that I could do and accomplish these kinds of things, then I wouldn't be here. And also, I get to stay at your place rent free. I don't have to pay for a hotel. I just, flop on the love sack.
And get chauffeured around and everything.
Exactly. I'm so glad that you are so in tune with your duties.
Yeah. We're gonna have to end this show in a minute and be like, yeah, she out of here. She's not gonna be on no show tomorrow. No event tomorrow. I don't know what's happening. Crazy.
I'm paid up until the 8th.
What? Anyway. I think I am so looking forward to spring. Spring, summer, just all the forward months, because there's going to be just so much going on. I know that there is going to be in the month of, I think it's July or April. That's around the time when food trucks, I want to say, come alive, like they're in hibernation right now. But that is a time when food trucks really start making their appearance, and not just the ones that we're so familiar with, but newer ones that are coming out. I think in the upcoming weeks there will. I know very briefly I was doing some research and I saw that there was some new food trucks that were coming out. So I will make it a point to bring that information to you all. So make sure that you're listening. I'm just going to say every week, every Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Un-Bougie Foodie, because I'm going to share that information with you, as I do with all food information that I get. It's kind of funny because I know that's what I do, but it just seems like, man, he's always sharing some kind of place and something to do at some event. But
I'm sure your listeners appreciate it.
They better. But aside from that, man, that's going to be in that's going to be in, like I said, in April, when they start coming out. Already in July, I saw that there is going to be in Uptown, which I know that Uptown has gotten a bad rap in reference to having the food truck festival. So we'll have to check that out. I have not gone to the event in Uptown. I have, as you all know, last year went to Battle of the Food Trucks at Maplewood Mall. Enjoyable. There were some suggestions, which I think I feel confident in passing on to you all as well, that if you do plan to attend that this year, which there's not a date or anything that I could pass on to you, but hey, if you have camping chairs and you'd like to go to that event, make sure you take them with you, because I don't think they're going to be providing any type of seating arrangements and so forth. So I just want to kind of bring that out and find out where we, so that you're familiar with that. So I want to end with just, what are some thoughts that I'm again putting you on the spot. Is there anything interesting in Los Angeles that you see that's upcoming Like I said, I know that you have been a foodie and doing things. How are you finding out about your events in Los Angeles? And
Well, living where I live in downtown LA, you can't help but hear about it. And you go to one event, and while you're at that event, other vendors or other people will share with you. The Pancake and Booze Festival is coming up. I just was at the Chocolate and Art Show where we had live body painting, and there was a fondue, two fondues, two chocolate fountains, actually. And like I said, you just find out by word of mouth. Other artists who are a little bit deeper into the community are always willing to share, and so that's good. And then you kind of get your own finger on the pulse of the community and of the life, and you start finding out things yourself, and you get in the know.
that's good. What about how's my nephew adjusting to his coming here and being in the experience that he had here?
He
The
loved
food
it.
experience too, and also being on the Un-Bougie foodie.
He loved it. I listened to that broadcast over and over again, and I realized that he
He's
has
good on the
adopted.
radio.
He's great on the radio. He's adopted some of your ways.
Really?
Oh, the food was so fantastically
please.
prepared.
I do not talk like that. I do not have conversations like that, or sharing.
It was amazing. Yes, it was so fresh.
That's not even what I talk. How I talk.
He loved it. He still talks about it. He had a great time. I'm sure that he's looking forward to coming again when he's 21 and he can do some debauchery with you.
Remember, this is a food show. This is not about it.
Hey, you know what? I'm telling you, food is all encompassing. It involves every aspect of what we do, and you can absolutely do some debauchery with food.
I'm just gonna leave that alone. I will mention, yesterday I forgot. This is probably a great time to actually talk about it too. We had my secular job. Yeah, it was a crazy day yesterday. So crazy. But we have something at my job that's called Festival of Nations. Festival of Nations. It's exactly what it sounds like. It really is a festival, but individuals that come talk about their foods, their cultures, and so forth. It's a very diverse company. So this specific event, I had never been to, but I was asked to create a storyboard specifically for what's referred to as our Latin Connection or team member network. It was great. That in itself was, there was tamales, there were
spring rolls, egg rolls.
I'm just trying to go from one to the other. So that was tamales. Yeah. And I'm saying it was tamales. Tamales.
Stop playing.
But then we just started going over to the other nations. I'm sorry. The first one that I just from Latin Connection was Portugal. What was that called? It
starts with an N and it ends with
pasteles de nata.
Hey.
That's what it was. Pasteles de nata.
Yeah.
And for us, because we have a dessert that's very, very similar, it's called lemon cheese pie. They had these small little desserts,
tart-like,
yeah, and they're just made with egg yolks and cream, and gosh, I think it may have had probably some cinnamon or something, or eggnog, nutmeg on top. That was it was delicious.
It was very good.
I love the fact how they put it together, in those little tartlets, and some of them were overflowing, and I can't talk about them enough because they were so good.
Serving wine.
They were serving wine. That was really surprising because here we are on company property, and I was thinking, but I had some anyway.
Well, they had to stay true to their, their culturalness.
Sorry.
But the best food
was
was Romania.
what?
Romania was the best. They served something that was like a polenta
Yeah.
type of, it was corn.
So smooth.
And it
you would
had
think
cheese and it had bacon. And it was good.
It was so good.
And they give you this piece of bread that was like, had walnuts and stuff in it. And it tasted like, cinnamon toast or cinnamon bread.
Like a coffee cake or something.
It almost
like that.
tasted like our bun.
Yeah.
And it went so well with it. And she was telling how, corn was in abundance, something that, if you're poor, you can afford it. And they just have created it or made it into this really creamy, delicious. It was good. Yeah. I thought it was scrambled eggs.
Yeah, we both did. Because
Yeah.
I asked her, I'm like, this is egg and what else? She's like, no, this is corn. I was like, what? This is corn? Like, what? This is not corn.
They're very resourceful people and also very well known for their politeness and hospitality.
Oh, wow. And so delicious. So delicious. Good. I tried over at, what was it?
I don't know.
Not Liechtenstein.
Scotland. No. Oh, Liechtenstein.
Was it Liechtenstein?
Had good sausage.
Yes. That sausage. Those brats were delicious. What was the other place though? Oh,
Scotland?
Poland. Nope, Poland.
Oh.
Remember all the different types of meats that were there?
Oh, right. You had the hog head.
Yes, hog heads. Yeah, that was very, very good.
Yeah, it was good.
You didn't taste that.
You said it was good, so I'm just agreeing with you. You had this look of ecstasy.
You had your own opinion about what you had. I can't remember which one you had. I think it was just one that was... It was just a regular sausage.
It was pork.
It was just pork.
It was pork.
She's like, I don't care what the name is.
Yeah, as long as it was pork. Yeah, pork. But then we had the whiskey cake.
Oh, see, that whiskey cake, you got to talk about that whiskey cake because from my standpoint of a Belizean background or culture,
we soak our fruit before we make the like the holiday type Christmas holiday fruit cake. We soak it in the rum and then we add rum to the cake and then there you have it. But the whiskey cake was simple. Just the whiskey cake was tasting like it was right on point, right up there, up to par with our cake, and it was good.
I don't know how many he had because I was trying not for him to cut another slice because yes, I could have had my own slice.
Right, you were just trying to be nice.
I was being nice,
and were. You're a very nice man.
Really?
Yeah, I was being very sincere. You're a very nice man. You care about other people. I would have had him give me half of that cake, but I didn't want to embarrass you. Be like, dang, Wesley's sister is greedy.
Anyway, hilarious. But it was good. I mean, I'm telling you, I did not realize that it was a very dense cake. And that, I mean, did it seem to me that he was trying to give us the whole entire cake?
I'm telling you,
it seemed that way.
I think that they probably told him, look, Jim, I don't know if his name is Jim, but we calling him Jim for the purpose of this. Jim, as soon as whatever you got to hand out is gone, no more butterscotch, no more whiskey cake, you can go. Okay. So I think he was trying to get rid of everything fast so that he can get out of there. Because when we were asking him stuff about Scotland, he was just like,
you want to take it?
You want a big, how should I cut this? He looked like he wanted to rip it apart with his hands and give it to us.
Well, hey,
but he was a nice man.
If it wasn't for the fact that Bill had to go find the knife, it seemed like he was just ready to put it on the plate.
Yeah, he was like, here, you guys take it.
Take it with you. Other people have to have something, and I don't know how many he had, but hey, it was very, very good.
Did Brazil have any food or did they just have capoeira?
They had they did the performance of capoeira.
Okay.
So anyway.
So we don't have to talk about them because they didn't have any food.
But hey, it was good.
Yeah.
Asian Connection though, come on now.
Yeah, Asian Connection was good. Their food was good.
Even though she was trying to pawn off a chicken on you.
Oh my God, it was a rooster.
But
isn't it the year of the rooster?
Yes, it is.
Is that why?
We are very important individuals. Yes, we are. Roosters.
Yeah, it was not a chicken. It was a rooster. and I was very happy that she didn't make me take it.
Yeah, she was trying to make you take it. Indeed.
We'll mail it to you. Are you kidding me?
No, she has too many of that to worry about. Any, what did you call them? Crockeries or whatever? I don't know.
Crookermints.
Crookermints. My mother and her crookermints. So yeah.
So many crookermints.
She has no idea that she's getting a rooster in the mail.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, she is.
Well, hey.
She's gonna love it.
Yeah, because it came from where it came from.
Because it came from you.
You say it so disdainfully, like,
you know what? Let's not bring any sibling rivalry into this beautiful Un-Bougie foodie moment. But there is definitely some right below the surface.
Really?
Yeah.
And it has involvement of food.
It has an only when you come in town do we get these fabulous feasts of meals. And Wesley's coming and we have to get this. And we have to get that. Oh no, we have to get jowls. Yeah.
So thanks so much for coming and joining us on the Un-Bougie Foodie. We're ending the show kind of early. Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I have to come back in April and regale you with some more of his Un-Bougie foodie stories.
Really? No, you won't do that. Maybe they might be interested in, hey, you want a one-day show or something like that, and maybe you could tell them then.
You know what? I'll wait till we have the meet and greet. We're going to have a meet and greet, and we're going to cook for you guys. And I'll tell you guys all the stories there.
What? Me? Where?
All of them.
Who? What meet and greet? You don't know nothing. Nothing. Whatever. She only wishes that she had anything on me when it comes. No. Maniacal.
We'll talk later.
Maniacal.
We'll talk later.
Whole maniacal. Whole clownishness right about now. Anyway, I tell you, we're coming to the end of the Un-Bougie Foodie for this week. I just want to, again, thank you so much for being here. You know I love you, even though I could throw a pie at you. Or whatever.
What kind of pie?
Really? Just, how do you want to help end out the show? Do you have any last words that you want to say? You and your accoutrements or crookermints or whatever.
Keep watching. Keep listening to the Un-Bougie Foodie. He's about to do some really big things. He's going to broaden your horizons and widen your palates and your waistband.
Not that I really, really want to do the last part.
It happens.
It happens. It does happen. But no, I really do appreciate
the Un-Bougie Foodie workout plan. It's better than Kanye.
Yeah, I really have to end the show because. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate again you having a chat with us and listening to us on a Saturday morning. So please, I encourage you to listen to me every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. only on WEQI. As always, as I end every show, I really want to encourage you to not let anyone tell you what kind of foodie to be, because really it is all about the food. Until next time, next week, that is, peace and blessings, and eat food.